Another question that I actually sent you personally. Why do people overlook all the good you've done for them, but only emphasize a tiny mistake that you've made?
Isn't that what we do with God?
All the time. All the freaking time.
And then
All the time.
why when you treat it once like most of humanity treats God, you're
I'm
so
looking
angry.
and I can't because I get very angry when it comes to this, but I need to relax my face muscles.
I do believe that this is a way of the heaven reminding us how do we deal with heaven. And by heaven, I mean whom you consider as your Lord.
I mean, I will say another thing. This is very true. Actually, this is very true. Let's go into that a little bit more. With my video with Bismillah, my interview with Kareem from Kun Rijal, sweet guy. Very, you can see he's very keen to learn, very eager. Just also trying to fight all the ideologies. Because his soul, you can tell it's searching and yearning, and it's just also fighting all the ideologies that have been shoved down our throats by the West that for some reason we've adopted. And I mentioned this that the day I went to his interview, I had been thinking about quite recently people who succeed. Because I was saying about myself, I credit everything to God. This is something you've taught me. كل شيء منيح من Allah. Everything good is from God. Everything bad is from us. I have accepted this. It is the way I am, and I'm very happy with this. That being said, it really made me think, because I like to take things a step further, people who don't believe in God, or are quick to blame God, like you said, and just the second something bad happens, blame, hatred, God, all of that negativity. When the good happens, do you credit yourself?
Of course.
This is me. This is all me.
Of
Like
course.
people who don't believe in God, truly, like the ego to credit yourself for all the good that has been blessed into your life.
And those who claim that they believe in God too, immediately the ego takes over. By the way, that was not my teaching, that was the Quran teaching. ما بكم من خير فمن الله وما بكم من شر فمن أنفسكم.
It is the nature of a person that you need to look out for here. And since I have prayed for God to keep himself in my heart, because I am always in his heart, to always allow me to remember him and not forget him, the way I view people and the standards in which I tolerate or allow people into my life have changed. And there is an ayah in the Quran, إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم. And I pay attention to this. If I mention God and I don't see your heart soften, I don't see you take a step back and humble yourself, you serve no purpose in my life. I cannot be around you. Because if God does not humble you, I'm not the one who's going to humble you. Absolutely. You're not going to take me into consideration more than you're going to take your Lord and your Creator. So if you see people treat you this way, see how they are when it comes to monumental things that are beyond their control, like God. If they don't humble themselves, if you don't see that tremblance in their hearts of, this is bigger than me, they don't care about you.
The norm with the mass, the norm with most of people, is that they will.
Why am I crying?
They will pick the smallest of your mistakes and exaggerate them, and they will pass by the greatest of your deeds, and they will just act like it is not there, especially if it's related to them being the receiver at the other end. Now, it is your job to put the limits and how much you can carry and where the line stops. I would advise everyone to be a giver and to tolerate people and to forgive and but I would remind you that also your nafs, you inna li nafsika alayka haqq, you have to always look at your own self and not harm it in the process, because you will be asked.
I understand. I also think I fully agree. There also needs to be a sense in, because this is a question that I got a lot, and I think that's why I shared this to me, because one of the things, and it is honestly, it might be the most predominant question that I get, because it has to do with relationships, with friendships, with work, with everything, is how do I gauge, is this a good person or not? Do I entertain this person or not? Do I keep this person around or not? And that's why I shared that, because I've reached a point now where, a lot of the comments that I get are, we're such complex creatures. And I'm going to stop you right there. You're really not. That's why you can be profiled down to a T. There are neuroscientists and very smart people out there that can profile you down to a T, down to the nightmares that you have. So you're not that complex, right? And to me, take it a step further. How do I gauge? I will take it back to God. It's the only thing that works for me. And inshallah, it is the only thing that will work for me until the day I die. If you do not have God in your heart, you don't have place for me.
The concept of uniqueness in the human being is true. Every human is unique. But the uniqueness is not in your average behavior. It's in your soul.
Yes.
Now, that's been ignored completely, and people act exactly the way others act, think exactly the way others think. They get their main intellectual or paradigm of brain set from the media, and then they come and say, I am unique, and I am in what aspect? You tell me as the essence of humanity, I agree.
Yes, of course.
In your behavior, in the way you carry yourself, in the way you interact with others. No, you're not.
No, you're not. Yeah. So just to answer the question is why do people do that? Now, why they do it, it has to do with ego. Like you said, they do it with God. I wouldn't necessarily concern myself with the why. I would concern myself with what is my job in this situation when I am being treated as such or being presented with such a person. Like I said, for me, I fully agree with what you said. This is how they behave with God. Then I'm going to take a step back. Now, my final answer would be, I wouldn't concern myself with why do they behave this way. I would concern myself with what is my job in this situation. And personally, my final answer, if you are in this situation and truly time and time again, it's been proven that you've been such a giver, and then this person just focuses on one flaw because at the end of the day, you are still human, drop them. They serve no purpose in your life. Remove yourself from the situation. It's now, this is why I'm focusing on the self-awareness. You clearly have enough self-awareness that you've picked up on it. So now I no longer blame the person for the atrocities that they're imposing on you. I blame you for allowing yourself to remain in this unforgivable situation.
Congratulations, at least you see it. Most people just cry and
I used to say this because they tell you being aware of it is 99% of the problem, but I've realized I don't do that anymore. Being aware, fine, dime a dozen. Taking action.
You wouldn't take action without being aware, but just being aware and stop there.
But most people are just aware and stop there.
No, they're not aware. Because genuine awareness...
At least, the people, I'm talking about the people who follow me and who've sent questions, there is, honestly, I have to give it to them, there is an awareness. They have asked some very interesting, beautiful questions. So there is an awareness. So I'm answering this person now specifically, and anyone, because this is answering that question. So this is answering people who have asked themselves this question. So the awareness is there.
Well, I would... Okay, let's put it...
Do you get what I'm saying? The awareness is there.
Let's put it in a different way.
Go for it.
Awareness has multiple levels.
Go for it. Okay. Yeah.
So it's just, oh no, I know there is a problem. I know there is a problem. I know there is a... Thank you.
Thank you. And then... Yeah. So that's literally what I'm saying, Papa. Oh, bad. That's what I'm saying. So I wouldn't concern myself with the why are they doing this. And it's also the previous question of they say they love me, but they're mistreating me. Why? Now that there is enough self-awareness and you've asked me this question, so you are acutely aware to the atrocities that are taking place, it is no longer about the why. It is about what do you do in the situation that's being presented at hand. So now I no longer care about them. I care about you and why you're accepting it. Why are you playing a hand in your own suffering? Walk away.